So now, moving further, I would like to invite Mr. Karthikeyan Manoharan, Director of Vail Murugan Heavy Engineering Private Limited, to come forward and please tell a few words.
Dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to one and all. I am really delighted to be a part of this Frozio Conference 2021. As a 50-year-old company which is into heavy engineering products manufacture such as steel plant equipments, cement plant equipments, wind turbines of different capacities both onshore and offshore, mining equipments, we have evolved ourselves to be one of the leaders in this industry over the years. The products produced by us require one of the most stringent surface treatment requirements, and we also provide almost close to around 20 years of coating guarantee for the products we make. We all might agree a disciplined approach and in-depth knowledge, choosing the right technology and foolproof system are the key parameters to achieve these. Surface treatment studies have evolved over the time, and I'm sure that Frozio is going to play a major role comprising of all the key requirements, essentials taught by various courses so far. My best wishes to Frozio and team for a great success in Indian markets. Hts Coating, being one of the very few reputed, reliable, proven training center in India, has played a major role in training and supply of quality professionals in surface treatment industry. I am sure HTS and Frozio is going to be a success combo in the days to come. My wishes and greetings to Mr. Venkatesan for arranging this wonderful conference despite of the various pandemic challenges being thrown upon us, and also as a platform for interactions and networking of various veterans from different fields. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. T. Shankar Narayanan to come onto the stage, to come onto the dais and say a few words.
Good evening. I'm happy to be a part of this program. I thank Mr. Venkat and Mr. Ravichandran from Berger Pines for introducing me about the HTS Coatings and inform me that today there is a conference at this hotel and then you have to go and attend. Initially I was hesitant. Now I didn't know anybody from Frozio or HTS Coatings, but he said you go, the people are very much friendly, and then okay, you can know about it. So as a professor from university, we used to teach the fundamentals of corrosion. I'm offering a course on corrosion science and engineering, and we used to train the students. But the academic training alone is not enough to get a placement. So in this perspective, I appreciate the role played by Mrs. HTS Coatings in training the people so that they can take up a position very nicely and they can be able to perform well in the taken up position. So in this perspective, I feel that the Frozio conference, in collaboration with HTL Coatings, that they introduce the concept of training people, and then I'm going to hear the lectures from Mr. Ravi and other people, other experts. So I hope that it will be a very useful evening to enrich your knowledge on the area of coatings and corrosion. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I take an immense pleasure to invite Dr. T.M. Sridhar, Assistant Professor and Head of University of Madras. So let's all give it up for Dr. T.M. Sridhar.
A very good evening to all of you, and a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries present over here. So it gives me immense pleasure to address all of you in this pandemic situation. Of course, the pandemic has given us a lot of challenges, And when you always look at creating assets. Building assets is one of the issues. Next is preserving the assets. And today we have a new issue. If there is a lockdown, you don't have people around you, how are you going to keep your assets running? But I come from the academic background, so teaching, learning process is an integral part of any work. And every day we get new minds, new set of people, and we keep teaching to them every day. As my senior Dr. Shankar Narayan mentioned, so always teaching, learning, and industrial needs are something that is different. So being a specialist in corrosion and coatings, so we teach about how to choose materials, how they fail, and how you evaluate them. And given a particular industry, a particular system, a particular plant, how you choose the materials. But when it comes to the industry, you have a plant, you have it running, you don't paint a surface of 1 square meter. You have thousands of kilometers to be maintained, to be painted, and this asset has to be preserved. So you can expect failures, you can expect unexpected problems, then how are you going to solve? So that's where the role of HTS comes in. And I'm very aware of Mr. Venkatesh, who has also done a lot of programs with us. So he's a very good coatings specialist and also a surface treatment person. So with this background, I welcome Frozio and HTS, and I look forward to them training more people, teaching them more fundamentals and how to solve problems so that the industrial needs are solved, and end of the day we get very good reliable products and we have well-trained persons to handle any pandemic situation. So looking forward to your successful venture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful note. So now moving ahead, I would like to invite Mr. Hari, Managing Director of HP Walls. Mr. Hari, we welcome you.
Good evening. Thanks for inviting Mr. Venkat. It's my company HP Walls and Fittings in a 20 years old company. In 40 countries, export and domestic in all over India, supply in oil and gas and power. It's now more useful in training in Frozio training in my person attend Mr. Moses. So now I got more orders in Aramco, Saudi Aramco project, in successful business, in more useful in domestic and export. Thank you. Thanks for inviting.
Thank you, Hari, Mr. Hari. So now let's call Dr. John Paul, a corrosion specialist and technologist. So let's all give it up, our expert, Dr. John Paul.
I very much thank Venkatesh for the elaborate and wonderful arrangement of these meetings. We have a number of standards, yet it all depends on the inspector how far we put into practice. I have been called for a lot of litigations after the coating failures. The role of the coating inspector is to see how far effectively he puts into the operation and handling of the standards. We welcome our friends for bringing the stands from Norway. I can briefly tell you one instance in Iran, like a long gas pipeline, thousands of miles, and in Iran the pipelines go up and down the mountains. And Iran is also known for very low temperature. Outside is -4, but the gas inside the pipeline is about 60 degrees. So what I mean to say is that a coating is a marriage between a metal and a plastic material which have different coefficients of expansion, plus the coating is subjected to burial under the ground where it can contact a lot of chemical material. And Iran is known for a lot of ore materials. You'll be surprised by every new every 100 yards or 100 meters, color variations from yellow to brown to pink color. We had a problem with coating, delaminating, once it is put into the pit, and every time a joint failure. To put the story quickly into summation, we did all of bio testing, material testing, soil testing, ore testing, and even coating testing. But the only thing we found out finally, when the standards were not properly inspected or followed. When the blasting was there, the anchor pattern was 90 microns. The prime coating was only 70 microns. That was the problem. So there were always road peaks there, and a thick fiberglass coating delaminated in no time. So what I want to say is that we have standards, but the coating inspector is the one who has to be very vigilant on the application of the standards, and you got excellent equipments, and I trust you will carry on. The effectiveness of the standards depends how far you put into practice. I trust you, all of you appreciate that and do your best for the coating industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving further, I would like to invite Mr. Swaminathan, Managing Director of Dynamic Tech. So I welcome you, sir. Give a big round of applause.
Good evening to everyone. First, I am happy to see Venkat is back in the business, because I was long time associated with him. I can see him not only in India, all over Asia. And he is one of the highly qualified coating engineer available in India. And I saw his actually, I given nearly 40 to 50 candidates in India and abroad also. Lot of facilities available. You have to go and see the center. So lot of equipment, lot of practical equipment, good tutors, nice presentation, everything available. So the success behind the man is he invested like anything for the what he had gained from the gained the knowledge. He invested in that, and today he is started with Frozio. First time in India. I congratulate Venkat. I am sure that it will succeed like anything. We are here to support you. I want to say a small introduction about my company. My company name is Dynamic Tech, and I am doing mainly AWS welding inspector training, ISO training, ISO certification, same coating with Venkat. So we have a lot of joint venture and all, and third-party consultancy. We have a tie-up in Bangladesh, Tunisia, Nigeria, and Malaysia and all. Due to Corona, yes, the business was dull. Now again it is started picking up. And I hope with Venkat and Hts Coating, we can again bounce back in the business. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for letting us know that how beautiful and all the facilities available for all of us to go for the training and courses. Thank you so much, sir, for letting us know these things. And now let us move forward, and I invite Mr. Swaminathan, a General Manager of HP Walls. So let us all give it up for Mr. Swaminathan.
Good evening to everybody. I am very pleasure to be in the part of this first conference of Frozio India Conference. I thanks Mr. Venkatesh for his kind invitation. On behalf of our company, I heartily welcome the Managing Director and General Manager of Frozio. As our Managing Director said, we are doing machining of walls and all fittings, and mainly our products are stainless steel, and recently we got one job for painting. we had some problems and we immediately contacted Mr. Venkat, and he had given solution for all our queries, and we have successfully completed the job. And one of our qualified engineer has been, now he is taking a training for the inspector in Hts Coating. On behalf of our company, we wish this conference to go well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So now we are going to move on to the main section, which we all have been waiting for. So for which I would like to tell all my dignitaries to take your seats down, so that we are going to have one beautiful section which we all have been waiting here. Yes, yes. Check. Check. Okay, so now we have the delegates who present online. So can we have the AV, please? The people who have joined from different location. So we will be talking with them. So they have something to talk about. So we have delegates joining us here with different locations. Is it ready, or can we? Okay, so I would like to invite Dr. Buddha Dev Duari, Director of Lalita Infra Projects, Kolkata, who is joining from Kolkata. Can we have the AV, please? Jai Shri Vasan, Director of JAL Engineers, and Mr. Abhijit Andalkar, Manager of Quality Surveillance of Eka Solutions, Mr. Sagar Chakkar, Lead Quality Surveillance from Eka Solutions, and we have Mr. S. Ravichandran, Senior Manager of Berger Paints India Private Limited. So these are all the people joined us. Is it all right, or shall we move on? Or shall we have a one ice breaking session? Voice. We can't hear you, sir. he's keep on talking.
Hello? Yeah. Is it okay? Okay. Right. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to be in front of all, and thanks to all the delegates and to the dignitaries on the stage to have made it despite the COVID pandemic. It is really a pleasure to have Mr. Tron. Mr. Tron, many of you know there because you are sitting in front of him. He is a person from our fraternity, the coating fraternity. He represents the company called AkzoNobel, and he had been handling the marine as well as the protective coating market in Norway, the Nordic market. And we have Mr. Agna, the general manager, who represents Frozio. I welcome. It is a pleasure to invite some of you on behalf of the protective coating industry from India. I am from Berger Paints. You have Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary already there next to you, and I am part of his team speaking to you from Calcutta. I have been invited because I have qualified myself through ACE as well as through SSPC, and therefore I do understand what is the importance of coating inspection education. It's really a great pleasure to be there, and very few people are there in the country to do this very important task of protecting and supporting the Indian infrastructure. So this is where Frozio should be a party and a more responsible member, and we wanted more and more participation from Frozio in India. Mr. Venkat has opened up the doors, and we from the industry are there to embrace, and we will be in a position to support your endeavors in the country. We also would like to share a small query which may address when you are speaking, Mr. Tran. I would like to hear about the surface treatment as well as the coating inspection. What are all the facilities you have brought in your education? We would like to hear that. And if you have any specialized courses with respect to inspection of concrete surfaces, please do share that information as well. Wishing you all the best and wishing the conference a great success, and signing off, Ravi Chandran from Berger Paints, Calcutta. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkateshan, for this opportunity.
Sure. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Venkateshan, Scientist and Head of National Institute of Ocean Technology, Ministry of Earth Science. So can we have you onto the screen, please?
Good evening, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
We can't see
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and thanks to Mr. Ravichandran and Mr. Venkat.
Yes.
And it gives me immense pleasure to be part of this important event where we are talking about protective coating. And I am working in National Institute of Ocean Technology, and I have been working on this marine protective coating, marine corrosion for more than 2 decades. And in fact, to have a linkage to the Norwegian collaboration, the project what I am dealing now is 25 years ago was started under the NORAD program. In fact, about 5 years ago, we organized a very big event of 2 decades of collaboration between India and Norway. We have Norwegian ambassador and their dignitaries visiting our institute, and that is a level of collaboration we have. Currently, also we are collaborating with the Norwegian consulate here and on the marine plastic. So our interaction with Norway goes long ago. There is a company in Trondheim. I had visited there in Fugro Oceanar. They are providing the instruments, and we still have a collaboration with them. And of course, in the case of AkzoNobel, yes, I had been interacting long ago, and in fact, 2006, we had organized a very big conference in India that is on marine anti-fouling, where AkzoNobel played a major role. In addition to that, I would also like to highlight here the importance of marine protective coatings and the challenge in the region where you are all here. Since I had seen in Norway and many other temperate countries, you don't have an issue of fouling. Here you have fouling and corrosion combined together. We have instruments deployed at sea. We have voluminous data collected. Still, this is a big challenge for us to have a protective coatings. In fact, I had executed project on testing of these different coatings in Indian waters. And even I had done a work up to 5,000 meter depth, different coatings, how they have performed. So I know the complexity what we are dealing with that. But I'm sure that the coating certification program, what you have brought in, will be very beneficial to us. I look forward to have a very positive interaction with you all. And due to COVID, I'm not able to invite you to our institute. Maybe my email ID is with Mr. Ravichandran and Mr. Venkat. Please interact with us, and I will share my knowledge. And still, I have a book on with Springer, Germany, with Hans-Kurt Fleming from Germany. We have published a book on marine and industrial fouling that is still being talked about it. So this is in the part of curriculum in many other places. So I'm closely working with NACE, and I'm also a fellow NACE. So, and also I work in Marine Technology Society. I'm a chair in India, and recently I become Chartered Marine Technologies under IMASEC of UK. So with this larger interaction with me with the marine community, here this is a good initiative. This certification program should penetrate to the level of the colleges here, where the students get benefited. We discuss in the NACE how we can bring the certification as a part of curriculum. How do you promote this so that engineers, when they pass out, have a certification along with them? That gives a direct opportunity for the industry to use. So you must have a larger perspective. This country is too large and diversified. There are more opportunity, and awareness need to be done with an industry. Certain things are taken for granted and accepted. It's not so. We have the blue economy, which is really playing a major role, and the government of India is talking about blue economy, where the marine sector is really looked upon. Even in yesterday, our Honorable Prime Minister spoke in the United Nations General Assembly, because now currently India is chair. He spoke about the importance of ocean policy, ocean law, and also the resources in the ocean. So where even a marine sector plays a major role. So with all this, the government importance and the policy level interaction, these protective coatings need to be linked as a larger perspective. We all talk about the SDG 14, sustainable development, life below the sea. And also this particular year is a starting year of the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. And I am also chairman of UNESCO IOC program on Boost Regional Alliances. I also work with the World Meteorological Organization as a vice chair for study group on ocean observation infrastructure. So there is larger opportunity, and as in the part of climate change, we need to look at the ocean, we need to collect data, we need to deploy the instrument. In the picture, what you have seen behind me is an instrument which has been deployed and collecting data in real time transmitting. This is what is our work. We also got instrument for tsunami early warning, and all of our work is related to the field activity where this protective coatings and the certification is very important. So let us look at it, let us bring the quality on the work what we are doing and the best practice that need to be evolved. In all this different perspective, whatever I said, I have a global interaction. If as you want to interact with me, I'm glad to get connected to that, where the best practice of this can be recorded in the UNESCO, where we have IOD website on best practice. So with this, and also India is hosting the MTS IEEE Oceans 2022. This is the first time India is hosting in the month of February. I'm sure that that's again an opportunity for you to interact with Indian industry and the students and the global industry all together. With these few words, I once again I wish you all success during your visit. I'm very glad that during the pandemic period, you have taken time off and visit our country. And thanks to everyone for a coordinated exercise and conducting this event. Thanks to Mr. Ravichandran once again. I wish you all success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Coming up next, I invite Dr. Buddhadev Duwari, Director of Lalita Infra Projects, Kolkata. So let's all give it up for Dr. Buddhadev Duwari. Check. Sir, can you hear me? They can hear us, but they can't. I don't know. Please unmute yourself. Yes, sir, we can hear you. Sure.
Can I speak?
Yes, you can, sir. Check.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, there is some problem. Very good evening to all of you. I was about to come, but because I had some operation last month, so doctor advised me not to go to Chennai. I would like to first thank Mr. R. Venkatesan for inviting me to this Frozio India conference to talk on corrosion and coating. As Indian government, as Indian economy is growing, its infrastructure is also growing at a rapid pace. Studies have shown that India is losing 2 to 4% of its GDP due to corrosion every year. Given the size of India's GDP, this loss due to corrosion is costing India more than 50 billions every year. This global cost of corrosion is estimated to be $2.5 trillion. Corrosion is eating into our infrastructure like cancer. Corrosion never sleeps and cannot be stopped. It only
can be mitigated or slowed down to significant level by using sound practices. Studies have shown that by using available corrosion control practices, we can make saving of more than 25% of the cost of corrosion, which is more than 600 billions annually. Through proper corrosion management, significant cost saving can be achieved over lifetime of an asset. We have to implement a sound corrosion management system in order to make this happen. Maximizing savings can be achieved by incorporating sound corrosion management practices throughout the organization from top to bottom. Pipeline industry with tanks and vessels, for which I work, we have two main methods of corrosion mitigations. As all of you know, who are in coating field, corrosion is an electrochemical process and occurs by the electrochemical reaction with the environment by forming a corrosion cell. Corrosion cell has four elements: anode, cathode, electrolyte, and an electrical path. In case of a pipeline, we have anode and cathode on the same pipe surface, which are formed during manufacture of pipe. See, when you manufacture a pipe, in one point you will have minus 600 millivolt, and on another place you will have minus 400 millivolts. So there will be potential differences. As you know, like water flows from the higher level to the lower level, this same with the potential, wherever the higher potential will flow towards the lower potential. So there will be cathode and anode, and in this case pipe metal acts an electrical path. In above ground pipelines, there is no electrolyte, and hence no conventional corrosion takes place. However, the moment we lay and bury the pipe underground, the corrosion process starts with four elements of the corrosion cells, that is soil. More electropositive and active areas on the same pipe get preferentially corroded and discharges corrosion current in the environment. To slow down this corrosion process, first and primary method that we employ is coating. We stop the bulk of the corrosion by doing this. The coating acts as a barrier between anode, cathode, and electrolyte, that is soil, thus eliminating chances of corrosion reaction for taking place. However, no coating is perfect. They have holidays and breakdown or degradation factors, resulting in some contact between pipe and electrolyte, that is soil, over a period of time. To prevent these reactions, we employ a secondary method of corrosion prevention, which is cathodic protection. With cathodic protection, we control the corrosion pipe surface by making the entire pipe surface cathode. There are two methods of cathodic protection: A, galvanic; other is impressed current on the pipe from the external power source. We have to combine coating and cathodic protection for extending the operation life of our pipeline optimally. While selecting coating, we have to look into number of factors like operating temperature of pipeline, design life. So for instance, you look for a design life of 25 years, some 40 years, sometimes 50 years. Then pipe diameter. The diameter can vary between 300 to 3500 m dia. Then soil type. The soil type may be extremely corrosive soil. That means the soil resistivity is below 1000 ohm centimeter. Between 1000 and 5000 is moderately corrosive soil, and the above 5000 is not corrosive at all. Then electrical insulation. This is another very important factor. The dielectric strength of any material is directly proportional to electrical insulation of the coating material. So better is the dielectric thing, better is the insulation material. Then adhesion slowly it deteriorates. So the better adhesion, better is, otherwise the water will go and penetrate and there will be corrosions. So as you know, there are pipelines we are quoted long back. So 30 years, 40 years, that time the corrosion doesn't exist, the adhesion doesn't exist. It is the coating is just sitting on the top of the pipeline. Then you have moisture barrier, that's also a very important factor. And other properties of coating. After careful analysis of these factors, we choose the best coating for our system. But in many cases, we tend to take the decision based on economics for immediate lowering of cost. For instance, Jal Jeevan Jal Mission, the central government projects, there is always the budget is the criteria. So there we try and cut down the cost, water line mainly. So there we don't go for the 3LP coating, we go for general polyurethane epoxies and many other coal-tate, many other coating like that. After we selected the optimum coating, we shall have to design and implement the most optimum cathodic protection system to complement our coating. A good coating can fail in case it is not applied properly. For this, we need good surface preparation. By proper blasting and cleaning. So for instance, you have to have blasting up to level of SF3, abrasive blasting, and also need to have a solvent cleaning method. I have experience in Torrent power plant in Gujarat, where cement power has supplied the entire 1 into 500 megawatt of power plant. Entire 3 kilometer of pipeline had to be taken out, cut piece by piece, and then recoat the entire coating. Because what happened, the inspection preparation was not good, and it was done near the seashore in the Kandla, where the salt contamination was there, and because of salt contamination, coating was failing. So there is underneath coating, underneath corrosion, as well as blistering. The coating was outside was tape coating, and inside was epoxy. So there we found out. We got a team. We found out these are the problem. There was no cleaning, solvent cleaning operations. So this blasting cleaning is very important factor for any good coating to perform. Then coating integrated test and experienced and knowledgeable people to keep a check whether coating is if there is something incorrect and whether the application is proper or not. We can have there the role of certified people from Frozio, NACE and SSPC to supervise such coating jobs and will make sure that coating performance is optimal when pipes are buried. Therefore, it is highly advisable that all personnel related to hydrocarbon, water and other industries where corrosion has a role to play, that we should be aware of latest guideline and updates in corrosion management system. So, the role of the certified inspector from Frozio, NACE and SSPC. Frozio is generally in Europe, NACE and SSPC from United States. So Frozio is as good or even better. Some places because they have more details in about the coating system than NACE and SSPC. Then by reading international journal papers, attending seminars, participating in hands-on technical courses are very important for our more and more people in India. Get exposure and come to know of the meanness of corrosion. And we will be able to minimize its adverse effect on our economy and infrastructure in times to come. With this, I would like to conclude and thank everyone for listening me patiently. Wish you all the best for fighting in corrosion in future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mrs. Jayashree Vasan, Director of JAL Engineers, to give away a speech.
Yeah, my speech is over.
No, Mrs. Jayashree Vasan. Is she present?
Hello, my speech is over.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Yes, she is here. Ma'am, can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Good evening, everyone. Special thanks to Mr. Venkat for asking me to participate as one of the members on the panel, and I feel honored because there's such stalwarts on the panel, and I don't have much to say. I just want to say that yes, our industry is very important in maintaining the assets. We are of course a very important part in maintaining all the national assets, and Mr. Venkat is doing lovely work, and I look forward to working with him in the future. Thank you once again for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I take an immense pleasure to invite Mr. Abhijit Andalkar, the Manager of Quality Surveillance, ACA Solutions. Can we have Mr. Abhijit? Check. Can you please switch on your video, ma'am? Video, sir? Mr. Abhijit? I request Mr. Abhijit to switch on the video. Yes, sir. Sir, can you hear us? Can you hear me, sir? Mr. Abhijit? Unmute yourself. Mr. Abhijit Andalkar, it's your turn to talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, there was some technical problem. I could not able to hear you.
Yes, sir, now we can.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Abhijit Andekar. I'm working with Delegate Solutions. I'm manager in the quality surveillance department over here in Delegate Solution, based in Pune. So basically, we are a Norwegian oil and gas company. We are working with the subsea technology, and so we the corrosion related issues, coating related issues, we are facing a lot of challenges in that. So basically, we deal with the corrosion with the help of material selection and the cathodic protection. In addition to that, we also have different kind of epoxy coatings which we are using in addition to our cathodic protections. But the other surface treatments or coatings like xylon coating, phosphating, some electrolytic plating, we do also need on a different on our different products, and that's why we know the importance of coating. And when the Frozio is starting this joint venture with HTC Coatings, it's really really a good opportunity for all Indian companies or manufacturers who are dealing with this coating, and this kind of trading is certainly going to add a lot of helping hand to that industry. And I'm very glad with this initiative by Frozio and HTC Coatings, and I really wanted to wish them all the best in their initiative. We will definitely get in touch, have more discussion and alignment this in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abhijit. May I now invite Mr. Sagar Chakkar, Lead Quality Surveillance of Acre Solutions. Mr. Sagar.
Yeah, good evening all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, myself Sagar Chakkar, working as a lead quality surveillance in Acre Solutions. As Abhijit said, we are Acre Solutions. We are currently based in Pune. We are catering subsea oil and gas exploration. So first, I would like to thank HTS and Frozio for inviting us in such a wonderful conference. And I'm looking forward to some good inputs in the field of corrosion and corrosion mitigation, as far as subsea structures, oil and gas, and all the other factors are concerned. Currently, we are having one of our quality engineer who is undergoing training with HTS. So looking forward in the future, like many opportunities for such collaborations with HTS and Frozio. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Shyama D. Ranade, Independent Consultant, Corrosion and Coatings. Can we have a Dr. Shyama?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to this conference. It's a real honor to be here with all of the dignitaries, and it's great to meet new people. I have been working in coatings since around 10 years when I started my work in education in corrosion, and I've been fortunate to be able to look at industrial coating problems and research on those coating problems. So during my time, I have found there is a huge gap between how people in labs think and how the industry people want the results to be shown to them. So this gap actually leads to a lot of loss for both the institutes, because researchers are unable to communicate even if they have really great coating developments in their labs, and the industry people remain unaware of what the potential in these research opportunities can be. So I'm really hoping that Frozio takes a step in answering the question, what else can be done to bridge this gap? And what else also includes what else is new. Every time a person in coating starts working or he has an issue, I feel in addition to what is currently done, which is solving the problems obviously, there should also be something related to what else. What else can I do in terms of testing or application, and can anybody in the research field help me in that? That would actually trigger the research in application parts, because when we work in labs, we don't really know what are the exact issues that industry wants us to solve. So it would be really great, and it would be a really focused research. So I hope Frozio can take this step forward, and I hope I'll be able to witness that change in the coating industry. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Mr. Ramakrishna, General Manager, Technical Services of Jotun Paints. Can we have them on the screen, please? Yes, sir.
Good evening to everybody. Sorry, I'm not there. I would have been there. Would have been more happy to meet everybody. First of all, I am happy to say more than other things. I would love to call myself as a paint inspector, and I am a Frozio certified inspector. Last 15 years, I did 200 plus docking, because very happy to say that Frozio knowledge, the knowledge given by the Frozio was helped me to come out of a difficult situation to a successful coating advisor, and I am very happy that both Venkatesh and Frozio are working in India, so that many more paint inspectors are being developed in India. It is very much required at this moment. It's not that the value, whatever the paint system is designed or selected by the customer, unless otherwise it is applied properly and difficult situations are overcome with a different environment and requirement. The knowledge is most important for application, and that is Frozio is giving it, and that too in India, because when I did, I had to travel to Malaysia to complete this course. I encourage the youngsters. There are new avenue to become a paint inspector, because generally people go to the main electronics or computer science, are a new avenue for them to grow in their future also. Thank you very much for organizing it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Check. Thank you so much, sir. So now we have come to the most awaited moment for which we all have been waiting for. It's the time for Frozio presentation. So Frozio established in 1986 Norway, and they have more than 10 training body, and Hts Coating is one of the global training body associated with Frozio. So now I invite the Frozio chairman, Mr. Piran Solvent, to come onto the stage to give a Frozio presentation. So let's all give it up for Mr. Piran Solvent.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say I'm very happy to be in India. This is my first time in India, so thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And also, thank you to Hts Coatings for arranging this. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. As you all are aware of, and participants before me today have said, the cost for the society for corrosion is immense. It's billions of dollars every year, and Frozio's contribution will be to raise the awareness of this issue by raising the quality of the work we are doing to prevent the corrosion. Frozio, as you hopefully are aware of, is a non-profit organization. We are trying to raise the awareness of the quality, and we certify inspectors worldwide. We do not conduct the training ourselves. Others are doing that, and then after the training we are coming in to do the exam and the certification. So currently, we have certified inspectors in 83 countries worldwide. So it's becoming quite well established. And for more details about this, I would like to give the word to the General Manager of Frozio, Mr. Ole Strata. Would you please come to the stage?
Okay, thank you very much for having us here. So we'd like to tell you a little bit about Frozio. I hope a lot of you know about it, but we have made a short presentation for you. So if we could put the presentation up. Presentation. Yes. So. Not working? Which is not working? Okay, so the next slide then. Okay, so this was the Trond Soltvedt you just met. Worked in surface treatment since 1986 and been with Frozio since 2017. And he is also Frozio certified in 2014. Okay, next. And my name is Ole Strette, working since 1988 in the coating business. Also been doing a lot of training for Frozio, and since 2015 I've been the general manager at Frozio. So that's the introduction. The next one. We have a very, very long name. Norwegian Professional Council for Education and Certification of Inspectors for Surface Treatment. So we cannot go around introducing this name, so we call it Frozio, which is, if you go to the next slide, is the name of the Norwegian, first letter of the Norwegian name, which is Faglig råd for opplæring og sertifisering av inspektører innen overflatebehandling. Still as long, but easier to just call it Frozio. And of course, in English, this doesn't mean anything, but it's just where the name Frozio came from. Okay? It is a member organization established in 1986 because we saw a growing demand in Norway to get more quality supervisor, quality assurance, more quality into our surface treatment field. We started doing a lot of good oil business in the North Sea, and we needed expertise, and we needed to take this field of surface treatment seriously. So that is all when it started. Trond mentioned it is a non-profit member organization. The members of the Frozio are one-man companies, it's big oil companies, it's highway department, it's a lot of different type of companies. Training bodies are members of Frozio. We don't have personal members, only company membership. They come to the annual meeting and they elect a board, which now Trond is the chairman of since 2017. And the board is sort of running the business throughout the year until the next annual meeting. And so I am sitting in the secretariat with talking with exam committees. We have several in different countries. We have other committees, cooperating organizations, certifying bodies, and training bodies. So they all go through our office in Oslo. This is maybe for us the most important slide And that is how we are organized. This is sort of what Frozio has been thinking all the time. We have this red line we call our firewall. And that means we are separating training and certification. So we have approved training bodies, like HTS, and I will show you later, several others. They do all the training according to our curriculum. But when they have trained, they are no longer involved. Then we take over the process and we do the certification. So the training body has nothing to do with the certification. They don't know anything about the exam. It's separated completely. The council is just a fancy word, I'm sorry, for the board. And I sit in the secretariat and also have the communication between the inspectors, the approved training bodies, and exam committees we have in Norway, Germany, Turkey, Finland, Poland. So we have a lot of people spread a little bit around. Okay. Training bodies, we have not that many. It is a high requirement to become a training body in Frozio. So a lot of things you have to satisfy, and at least your quality system has to be according to the procedures we do have. So we have a few global ones. HTS, of course, you know. We have Kiva based in Norway. We have Jotun Academy based in Norway. Oceaneering based in Norway. Hempel Academy based in Denmark. SW Duisburg based in Germany. And PaintInspector.com based in Czech Republic. These are the global ones that they go everywhere in the world to hold Frozio courses. And when they hold the course, Frozio comes and does the examination. Okay. In addition, we have local training bodies. So we have AMEN in Spain, we have 2 in France, PH Value in Japan, we have a University of Genoa in Italy, Russian Oil and Gas University in Russia, and we have a university in Finland. So that is basically the training bodies we have that are covering our market. Okay, next. Certifying bodies. Frozio, we are the main certifying body. We do all the certification. All certificates have to go through the secretariat in Norway. So we are the one issuing, we are the one that have the final say. But we do have in 4 countries people that are helping us in their local language. So we have France, ACPA, Italy, Grupo ISPAC, Russia, SOPCOR, and Japan Class NK. And only France have the ACPA, which is accredited in addition to our accreditation. Okay. And this is something we are very, very proud of. We are accredited according to ISO 17024. This is personnel certification. We believe that if you are going to certify personnel, you as a company or organization also have to be certified for personnel. And this is this 17024, which we have been accredited since 2003. Many of your companies have ISO 9001. For the company, we have 17024 because it's personnel certification. We are working according to our scheme, also approved by this Norsk Akkreditering, which is a certifying body in Norway, and it was established in 2018. Previously, we used a Norwegian standard called NS 476, but it was withdrawn in 2018. So we made more or less a blue copy of it and made it our scheme. So this is something we are proud of, and this is something, as far as we know, the only one in the world that has this accreditation for certifying coating inspectors. We are recognized. I think all over the world people know what Frozio is. We are one of the recognized certifying organizations. And we act through our formulation of quality requirements for surface treatment, and we also do installation to approve different types of inspectors. Yeah, we do have like Trond said, 83 countries have Frozio represented inspectors, so we are widely distributed. For some reason, we don't have very many in the USA, but I think you can imagine the reason for it. But we are recognized globally. In the IMO specification, we saw this on the film from HTS also. IMO PSPC, it specifically states that Frozio is approved for painting inspectors in this UN organization. In Norway, we are using a lot NORSOC M501 for offshore, and it has been used a lot around the world. And of course, there also Frozio is approved, specifically stated for paint inspectors. New now, last about 1 year, is IOGP, International Oil and Gas Producers, where a lot of the big oil companies are members. They've made a new paint specification called S715, and it's called Quality Requirements for Coating and Painting for Offshore, Marine, Coastal, and Subsea Environment. So a lot of the oil companies you recognized are members of this, and again here it is specifically stated that Frozio is approved as a coating inspector. And in Germany there's a standard for offshore wind parks. Again, we are also recognized there. And there are a lot of other specifications Frozio is also recognized, but those are the few very big ones that are more global than perhaps some of the other ones. So what are the objectives of Frozio? Well, elevate quality level with all aspects to surface treatment and insulation. We want to give this market or these people that recognition they deserve, because it is a very, very important field they are in. We hear a lot of the speakers here talking about all the problems corrosion and costs, problems they are creating that can be avoided if we do good surface treatment work. So we do have this, what we think is a very, very good program for educating paint inspectors in the best possible way and certifying them. So we have good follow-up on all these type of projects. And I think we mentioned a little bit in, when I talked about ISO 17024, the big issue in ISO 17024 is impartiality. That it has to be, you cannot first train and then certify. It has to be separated. It has to be different. And also when we are giving levels for Frozio, it is also impartial contacts. Your co-worker, if he says, oh yeah, he's doing inspections, that's not good enough. It has to be somebody that has no interest in what you are doing. That is very important sort of issue in this ISO 17024. We have a code of ethics that we want all our inspectors to follow. It's on our website. And also, of course, the training bodies we want to follow this. So, as a Frozio inspector, we want you to behave professionally with caution, integrity, and be factual. Refrain from action that can undermine Frozio trust. We want the best possible inspectors that can be trusted and that are doing the best possible job. Treat your work contacts with politeness and respect, and also cautious about ethical problems related to human rights, environment, and corruption. We have different cultures, different things around the world, but we want to be fair and do everything in the correct manner. This is our few of the things that are in our code of ethics. Yeah, next one, sorry, yeah. We also don't want any discrimination. You have moral principles. You have to be impartial. And of course, no bribes. That is also in parts of the world something that is necessary. We don't want that for our inspectors. You have to be strong to withstand a lot of pressures that some of the people are putting on you as a paint inspector. So we want to make sure that at least you have the backing from Frozio on those. Establishment, we want independent inspectors. We want our inspectors, level 3 especially, to be able to do a job and do a good job. We want them to be qualified. We want them to say if there's a job that they are not sure they can do, they should say no, not say yes and maybe do a really, really poor inspections. We want them to prevent the undermining of inspectors' authority and to improve surface treatment work in general. I mean, that is what we don't want the inspector to be sort of the big one pushing something down. We want them to be part of the team to make sure that the surface treatment work is done in the best possible manner. So rather than being strict, yes, he has to be strict, but also giving advice perhaps and helping, making sure that the project is going to be successful. If you want to be Frozio certified, you have to do an 80-hour training course by one of the training bodies that we showed you. Then you have a 4-hour theoretical exam, written exam. Then you have a 4-hour practical exam. And if you pass those, you are formally sort of in the family. And then you have to document your experience. So the experience is what decides the level you will receive. But it has to be documented. It has to be impartial documentation, has to be something that we can trust. You cannot just tell us, oh yeah, I've been doing inspection for 20 years and get level 3. It has to be documented. I think this one is very important also because we do it a little bit different than some of the other programs. On the other programs, you do first level 1 course and exam, then you do level 2 course and exam, and level 3 course and exam, or at least an exam. We only have 1 exam, and we only have 1 training course. So you do the same training course and exam, and then it is your relevant experience that counts on the level you will receive. So again, the impartial documentation, we will decide the level that you will receive. So we get a lot of papers we have to go through to check and make sure that we assess the correct level. What we say is relevant experience, pre-treatment of metallic surfaces, application of paint and coatings, inspection of surface, inspection of such work, sorry. That is defined in the Frozio scheme what relevant experience is. And it's a little bit wide, but you know, you have to be doing something with surface treatment. If you're working in galvanizing, yeah, that is relevant experience. In the laboratory, maybe, yes, relevant experience. So it's a little bit wide, but it has to be something to do with coatings. And documenting it when people go to the course or if they want to renew their certificate, which is valid for 5 years, they have to give us this documentation, a CV. So that is your own declaration of what you have been doing. for your working career or the last 5 years if it's renewal. And then we want confirmation from employer. And, or if you have previous employers, something that confirms that, she's been doing inspections of surface treatment when they were in our company. And we want what we call a reference list. And this is very important because the first one is yourself, the second one is your company. But your company is not impartial because they want you to get the highest level. They want to renew level 3 if you have it. But the reference list is a list with your projects, what you have been doing, and contacts that are impartial, that are outside your company. If you are working in Aker Solutions and you have been doing some project for Shell, then Shell is the person we need to ask, can you confirm that this person has been doing inspections? And then we have a reference list for that one. We do have 3 levels. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. In the old days, we call them white, green, and red. So people in my generation still do. A lot of the young people in the crowd here, they call it level 1, level 2, and level 3. And that is the correct one. Level 1, you have passed the examination, but you don't have any experience. So you start off at level 1. You've never done an inspection, you may never even have seen paint. But you have passed the examination. We have not many, but a few people get level 1. Maybe they're coming directly out of school and they want to start in this field, or they are changing the field, they're working something else. Maybe they're doing welding, and then welding is not relevant experience for surface treatment, and they start doing coating inspections. They start off at level 1. But when you are getting experience, you can upgrade. So after 2 years, you can upgrade to level 2 if you have the right documentation or you have the experience. And then you can go to level 3 after 5 years. Level 2, again, you have to pass the examination, but you only have 2 years relevant experience. Then you get level 2. Sometimes, you know, if you have been doing blast cleaning for 15 years, but you have never done any inspections, you still get level 2. Yeah, you have 25 years of relevant experience, but you don't have any inspection experience. And you see on this one, you have the green frame around it for the old, when we call it the green card. And then at the highest level, 3, 5 years relevant experience, and 2 of those have to be documented with inspection experience. So again, this impartial documentation to make sure that we are getting the right level. And then you get this one. We also have a similar one for insulation, so I don't know if HTS is going to do that in the future. Also not noted in the presentation, we are also working on certifying companies. So hopefully we have started, and we have some certified companies in Germany where it started, but we are going to expand this. So we are certifying companies for surface treatment. And now lately we are going to start working on operator certification. So it's a lot of things in the future that we hope will be successful. And there's also a lot of things in the standardization work. So there is also work going on making maybe an ISO standard for inspectors of surface treatment. There's also talk about ISO standards for operators of surface treatment. But I mean, making ISO standard like that is 2-3 years, maybe even more in the future. So there's a lot of things going on in this part of it, but regarding coatings, it's maybe not too much. You will probably not agree with me, Trond, as a paint supplier. But we're using the epoxies, we are still using the polyurethanes. And yes, of course, there are some new things on the market, but the base products are, I think they are so good that we are still using the same ones we have used for many, many years. We are located centrally in Oslo. email there, but the website you can also find a lot of information about Frozio. I don't know if you have access to this website. Can you put that up on the, if you click the link, you should be able to get it. I can show you real quickly, maybe, frozio.no. Maybe it's not working. But there we also have information about Frozio, how to renew. And what I wanted to show you, we have something called the Frozio book, where you can download for free and get information about sort of the Frozio curriculum and everything that is relevant. So let's see here. No. Yes, so this is our website. And you see the Frozio Guide CP is this guideline for corrosion protection. And also, but on the top right, it says Frozio book. So if you click on the Frozio book, you will be hopefully directed. And this is for free. This is sort of our, we've been working many years, so this is, anybody can download it, either as an app on your telephone or tablet, or here, and you can go in and read about corrosion or surface treatment or whatever. So if you click on the role of inspector for perhaps, then you can read, and we have also documents there. If you go back on the main page, the Frozio main page, this one, you can also see courses, the training and certification. You have all the training bodies listed, but this one, courses and exams. On the next right, surface treatment exams 2021. This is always the updated list of upcoming and courses that we are having, and the training bodies. So there's some information you can also find on our Frozio webpage. So right now we are on the bottom, a little farther down. We are actually having an exam tomorrow for something called Harvest Technical Services. We have an exam tomorrow for some students that Venkat has trained for the last 10 days. So we look forward to that also. So hopefully you'll be doing a good job, so they will have a lot and a high passing rate. That is what I plan to talk about Frozio. I think we will have some question and answer later, Venkat, or something. So for now, I think that is okay, hopefully. It's okay? Okay, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, sir. On that note, I would like to invite Mr. Venkateshan, our Managing Director of Hts Coatings, Frozio Surface Treatment and Coating Inspector course. So can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Venkateshan?
Hello. Is it audible? Okay. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank everyone. I don't want to say Frozio because they are our partners. We would like to thank all our delegates, all our those who have visited us. Sorry for that, just kidding. Because we are going to see you always. And I don't know what to say, like HTS Coating, on behalf of Frozio, in fact, we haven't informed we are going to have this conference. We took a short notice, I would say maximum 10 days. 10 days before we have started, we have informed Mr. Ravichandran, we have a plan, and Mr. Ole and Mr. Tron, they are visiting India. Like that we started. So within a week only, all this has started. Unfortunately, we have come, and all our visitors, delegates, really once again, I would like to thank everyone. And there are some visitors from L&T Kattupalli. I don't know, like they haven't informed us also. We have called our top management. Fortunately, they have come without informing us. So that is the reason. Sorry for that, we haven't invited you in a proper manner. Like that, many delegates also, without informing us, we have sent an email and we called them also, but they haven't shown up. But fortunately, they come, they are not showing their faces. So I would like to thank once again. And okay, HTS coating, we have started. I don't want to take more time, like short and sweet. Like I hope HTS coating in Chennai, we have started. I was in abroad for 25 years. Instead of keeping idle, I have started a venture called Harvish Technical Services. The short name, HTS Coatings. Initially, we took SSPC, and next year, in 2017, we have started Frozio, but during that time, nobody knows what is Frozio. Like whenever we are introducing any program, nobody knows. Only through our intensive marketing, we started knowing, and along with our partners, like many companies, Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary, Mr. Ravichandran, and even recently we have association with HP Walls. Like that, we are going, not only this, we are going many academias, like colleges, all engineering colleges. 2-3 years before, we used to go all over Tamil Nadu, all over India. But unfortunately, the name, they are not interested in, they are not shown very keen on this corrosion awareness. So we thought we start in our different direction in our industry perspective. So like that, we have started. Now the count is increasing. And unfortunately, because of COVID, we have stopped our, I think more than 16 classes we have cancelled. Normally, initially we have taken in India, now we are taking all over the world, like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and we are yet to enter Germany also. September, we are going to have a next program in Germany. So this is our profile. I don't want to waste my time. Once again, I would like to thank everyone to make this program in a successful way. Thank you again. And I would like to invite Mr. Vikash to say a few about our company, please. 2 minutes. Thanks.
Hi, good evening everyone. It's an honor. It's unexpected. Okay. So, as he said, we planned this conference 10 days before only, and we invited more than 150 delegates. Most of them are attending through virtual, and most of them watching our YouTube channel. More than 10,000 views now. So we are very happy. It's a successful event. And this conference has happened because of our Frozio team. They agreed to come in this COVID pandemic situation. And special thanks to all chief guests and other company delegates. Special thanks to all our students. This is like a do or die situation. Still they are attending, more than 100 people attending the conference. And okay, I like to say a few words about Frozio. So I am part of the Frozio from 2014. So when we started course, so Frozio demanded us to write a book. So as a training buddy, we have to prepare a book. From the day one, I am part of this organization. So it's close to my heart. So initially, we spent 6 months. We stopped all our training. We prepared 4,000 slides. And general manager, he said, no, it's too much. Like that, 5 times he revised the book. And with the patience, we revised. When spent more time to build a Frozio book. Finally, that book only uploaded in our Frozio website also with few changes. Not only us, other company books also they use. So that is like appreciation for us. So then we conducted more than 20 classes in India, in abroad, a number of classes, because like Indonesia, Germany, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, Qatar. So we are planning all over the world. We want to establish. So Thank you everyone. Thanks for this opportunity.
And I forgot to tell you one more. Based on our intensive training, like many people have certified from 2014, and there are other training providers also, I don't want to tell the name, they have forced us to take the class in India. But we refused, like because we are respecting Frozio. Why we took a Frozio? Frozio is a straightforward certification, as he mentioned in the presentation. It's a transparent certification, honest certification, and it is always reliable from ISO standards. So 2 days before, we got a good news. We have been approved by one more training body. It's called ICOR, Institute of. We got a license for all over the Asia. So we have now we have two eyes, right, and Frozio and ICOR. But obviously, our parent company, Frozio. So ICOR, it will take 2 or 3 years. We will see maybe in the next conference, like 2 or 3. But we have decided, we have determined, every year we are going to have a Frozio conference in India, not only in international location. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. So now we'll have a Q&A session. So for which I would like to invite a few of our delegates. So if anyone have any questions or any clarification, you could ask. To our Frozio team. So our Frozio team is happy to answer all your questions and clarify all your doubts. We welcome our Frozio team onto the stage, and also I invite Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary, Business Head, Berger Paints India, our industrialist, and Mr. T. Shankar Narayanan, Professor, Department of Analytical Chemistry from University of Madras. Can we have you onto the stage, please? Give a big round of applause. May I now invite Dr. T.M. Sridhar, Assistant Professor and Head of University of Madras. Can we have a big round of applause for him? Mr. Kartikeyan Manoharan, Director of Vail Murkan Heavy Engineering Private Limited. And also I would like to say one more thing. This Q&A session is also open for all our delegates present over here. So if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand. We would pass on the mic to you.
Okay, now we have got a concern from other dignitaries. If anybody is interested to ask any question about Frozio from the team, you are welcome right in the dais. If anyone is interested, we will give you a chair, please. Please, come. No, from here, no problem. You can come and sit. If anyone, please. Moses, please. Okay, make sure that this is going to be live, already live all over the world. So you can ask whatever question, sensible question, professional questions. If they cannot able to give any, sir, please.
Only mic. Okay.
Yeah.
Pass mic to the crowd also.
Maybe suppose if you are going to ask any question, technical question, they will answer. If you are going to ask any sensible question or something, I will support them. I am going to sit along with the Frozio now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We have a chair.
Chair, sir. Yes. Ready?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a small doubt. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Can you explain for Frozio level 1, level 2, level 3? And what is the requirement for that?
okay, Mr. Swaminathan, 10 minutes before Mr. Ole, he has given a presentation in which it has clearly mentioned that for level 1, you don't want to have any experience.
Okay.
For level 2, the student shall have minimum 2 years of documented experience in coating field.
Okay.
For level 3, he must have minimum 5 years of coating experience. Out of 5 years, he has to demonstrate minimum 2 years of inspection requirement, inspection experience.
Okay. So that means the engineering graduate is not a
No, it's not. You don't want any academic background.
Okay.
You have to complete 80 hours of training. But the only advantage, like a disadvantage, the person who is coming for this course, he should know how to read, write, understand English.
Okay.
Because the exam, it is going to be in a descriptive, not objective type by taking an answer like multiple choice.
Okay.
It's all descriptive. And you will have 4 hours theory, 4 hours practical. But the person who is going to receive, he will get 100% knowledge. That we can give assurance.
That means firstly you have to pass level 1, then...
No. That is what it is different from other certification providers. If you see other certification provider, you have to write level 1 separate, level 2 separate, level 3 separate. But in Frozio, you are going to write only one exam, one fees, one course. Once if you have passed, according to your experience, Frozio board will decide which level they can give.
Okay, thank you, Venkat.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, sir, please. Anything?
Can I just...
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Actually, both SSPC and NACE are conducting such training programs and offering certifications. So, how do you rate Frozio in par with NACE and SSPC? Because based on the recognition of the certification, when you go apply, whether the NACE certificate is preferred or SSPC certificate is preferred or Frozio certificate is preferred from the companies.
And second point, in India, it is by and large all the refineries, all they prefer NACE, and after that SSPC. What is your plan to promote this Frozio certification in those main streamline sectors like oil and gas, infrastructures, and how it can be incorporated there? So that is another questions we have.
First, we think we are the best, but we know that I think it has a lot to do with experience, and I know there's a lot of very good NACE inspectors, a lot of good SSPC inspectors, and there's a lot of good Frozio inspectors. And I would rate them. I think our program is very extensive, and it has a lot of material in the curriculum. But I think our advantage is this, since we are only doing certification, we are separating, is giving us an advantage that, in our opinion, is maybe more serious. But I'm not saying that there are not a lot of good inspectors on all the other programs. It's really a lot of experience. But at least we do have high requirements to our training bodies, and we have a very, I think, quite difficult examination to pass, and in combination with the documentation, we are quite sure that the ones we are certifying are good people. But I mean, you never know. But we are doing our best to make sure that they are the best. But we also recognize that our competitors also have a lot of good people that we cannot deny. So I think that answers your question. I don't know, you have any good comments to this question? Yeah.
Well, a short answer to that will be that we will always try to do our best regarding to quality. Quality is our most important thing, and the difference between the barrier between us as a certifying body and the rest who do the education is a very important thing, to keep that apart, to make sure that the quality we are delivering are of the best possible way. Thank you.
Yes, and I also think that the key word at Trond is quality, because we are a rather small organization compared to NACE or AMP or whatever you want to call it. And we have to deliver the best possible so we can, give the best possible inspectors.
But excuse me, I can tell you one short information. I don't want to tell the name, whatever the other certifications, they are doing their own training, they are certifying. And whereas Frozio, they are not involving in training, they are only certifying body. And the only one certification in the world as per ISO 17024, nobody is having except Frozio.
Oh.
So the in-depth, this is what the small broad line know. Many people, many industries, they doesn't know what is the meaning of Frozio. The integrity, if you want to say the integrity, again I don't want to stretch the word honesty or whatever. If you take ISO 17024, there are guidelines which other company, other certification providers, they are not following. Their way of certification as a individual and we can say like a non-profitable organization. They are not involving in that only they will approve the training body. If the training body is qualified enough to take their classes. Even during the examination, for example, tomorrow we are going to have an exam. As a training body, even my T-boy also not allowed. They will do on their. The integrity, honesty will be maintained always. If anybody is having a Frozio inspector certificate, he can proudly he can say, I am a certified inspector.
So the training part and the examination part is completely different. There is no correlation.
Yes.
So you are making the people.
Yes.
Whether they are really prepared or not, that will be proven by the separate body.
Exactly.
If it passes,
Yes.
then it is a real certification.
Yes.
So it is no linkage.
There is no link, and there is
so
no...
in other examination, it is linked. It is.
That is why there are some, everybody is getting a confusion or a doubt, suspicion, training body versus examination body. If you are having two entities, there will not be any suspicion. So your certification, a person who is going to get their certification, it is warranted for their integrity.
But the person who is taking the training,
okay,
it does not necessarily make sure that he will get certification. If he fails the examination, he will not get certification.
No
in
way.
spite of spending a huge time and money for training,
Yes.
if he fails his examination, there is nothing can be done.
No way. He has to reappear for exam. And no soft corners, no cut corners, straightforward. That is Frozio.
Okay.
Adding to these questions,
yes.
I think I am working with more than 2.5 decades in coating field. And we are working at Aramco and many foreign customers. In that, they are asking NACE or SSP or Frozio.
Okay.
So, Frozio name is there in that every specifications.
Abroad it is there.
Abroad also is there.
In India, let me recap, sir. As far as why we put all our logos, if you take ONGC specification, already our Frozio name is there. Formerly, the Frozio has been referred as NS476. 2-3 years before, they started their own standard. So that is why NS7, even if you take ONGC new specification, they are mentioning NS476. That means Frozio. It has been already, even Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum. Even if you take L&T Kattupalli, like they are keep on hiring not only SSPC, still they are respecting Frozio inspectors. Even if you go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, now ADNOC. Before there was ADNOC separately. Now it has been amalgamated as ADNOC, Abu Dhabi National Oil Company.
Okay.
It has already approved Frozio, NACE, ICORP. So we don't know, like it depends upon the clients, like the specifier, time to time they are changing the requirement. Even we wrote a letter to Saudi Aramco, they clearly said, we know Frozio, we have a respect, it is equivalent, approved.
I have understood. Another questions I am having to you, that because business model and scenario is being changed, it is not static. So your curriculum, how frequently you are changed based on the given situation? Because most of the cases, the same thing copy paste and going throughout the year, same story. Because people's nature, understanding and business model is changing.
Yeah.
Every time requirement is changing. Earlier, we never thought of the inspection in the difficult area, in the high chimney. We do not know how to inspect. Now people are talking about drone inspection.
Yes.
Through drones you can inspect. How you are changing those new ideas, new innovation in your curriculum? Is it so, or you are using the same old curriculum and repeating every year?
Sorry. You know, we have curriculum is examination committee in Norway that do. We are a 6-person this exam committee. And we also have a Frozio strategy, and in that strategy it says that every year we should go through the curriculum to see if something needs to be changed or something needs to be improved or something needs to be added. So we're always trying to keep up to date with all the different curriculums. Yes.
Within 4 years, we got to update to include a new, like even a new quoting system from the Frozio. Whenever ISO they are doing any revision or update, we are getting a back-to-back. You have to add in your curriculum. We got, as of now, from 2017, 4 times we got update.
4 times updated?
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of things changing in the standards, like you had the big revision of this ISO 12944 2 years ago, two years ago, and which of course we have to also add into our curriculum to make sure, change examination questions to make sure that we are completely updated on it.
In a simple word, ISO is getting stronger now. Now wake up. I would say 2-3 years before only they wake up. Okay. Now they are keep on updating all the standards. So whenever they are updating, obviously Frozio also they have to update in accordance with ISO 170.
So according to ISO, they also change?
Yes.
Okay.
Your courses are very intensive, like 80 hours of put together. If a person has a break in between, he's not able to continue, then how do you accommodate him? This is first question. And after doing the intense training, he's unable to clear the exam. So how do you give him another chance, or how do you accommodate him, or should he go through the entire course again?
No, okay. The first question is that we leave the training. We leave up to the training bodies, and we have training bodies that do 1 week, and then they have maybe 2 weeks in between. Then they do the second week, or they have but most of the part they do it in the 14 days. But it's really up to the training body. So some people, when I took Frozio in 1995, I had it over 8 weeks, for example. So it's really up to the training body. What we require is you have to do the 80 or the 72 hours, because 8 of the hours are the examination. So that is very up. Some are doing a little bit more e-learning now, doing more, during the COVID, they've been doing more training via Zoom or these things. So it's, as long as they're doing the 80 hours and go through the curriculum, then it's okay. And if they have not done it, they will probably not pass the examination. Regarding the passing or failing of the exam, you do the practical exam and you do the theoretical exam. If you fail one of them, you have to do it over, and you get 2 chances to do it. But if you 3 times you fail one of the examinations, you have to do the course over again. So you do have, and that happens, so a lot of people miss by only a few points, and then that's, sorry, you have to do it over again, and then hopefully they will pass the next time. And some people never pass, but that's...
But I can add you one more. Like as you said, why don't you give a break, level 1 separate class, level 2 separate class, level 3. Why you are doing 80 hours? Like in other courses, if you go level 1, the same subject you can see in that level 2, 60%. Even level 3 also. It is like a repetition. Why you want to waste your time, valuable time? Even all our students, they are coming from India, from abroad. Like with 80 hours, you are going to see the new technology. Not with the same, like I learned 5 years for level, 5 days for level 1. Even level 2 when I am appearing, same information they are teaching. But that is what they are different. In 80 hours, you are going to see total 10 contents, all totally different. And if I am going to other places, suppose if I have an inspector, like all experienced inspector, we can do 80 hours classes. Suppose if I have all youngsters, like young graduates, diploma holders, maybe we can extend, and we are giving additional training, like a preparatory class, like 15 days additional, 20 days, apart from this 80 hours also. If they are having a free time, they can come and join.
So there is another question, just with context to that, in continuation to that, that in NACE level 1, if you pass, then you come to NACE level 2, And then if you pass next level 1, level 2, then level 3, you are eligible for that. Here, after your training, the person is sitting for the examination. So based on his experience, the certification varies. How it's so? Suppose the person is having 5 years field experience, he has passed that full these things. Now he is getting certification 1 or certification 2. How do you define that?
So, okay, that is what I'm trying to explain. If you see level 1, level 2, level 3, I don't want to, as you said, you are referring the name. I'm having all the certification. I don't want to do injustice to other company which is good or which is bad. Now HTS Coating is partnered with the Frozio. I have a legal right to claim about Frozio in terms of others.
Correct.
Like if you take level 1, as you said, now, okay.
No, my question is, you please understand my question, Venkat. I am asking that you have common course, your course curriculum is same.
Okay.
The person has done a good course and he has also passed the examination.
Okay.
And he is having a quite good experience in the field of corrosion, more than 5 years.
Okay.
So what type of certification he is getting? He is getting level 1 or level 2?
See, that is what, as given in the presentation, you are going to write only one exam, regardless of it. They are going to issue a certificate based on their experience, field experience. If a person not having any experience, they will give level 1 only.
Oh.
If you are having level 2, they will issue they are respecting the experience. Like if you take other certification without experience, many people are taking level 3. Even IT guys, even pharmaceutical industries, welder, they are having, you might be knowing, many people are having level 3. But in Frozio, it's not possible. They are seeing their analytical thinking also, their knowledge plus experience. So 3 levels they are giving the importance.
It is extremely logical.
Yes.
It is extremely logical that same repetition of the course and doing the level, it is not there.
Not only we are paying my additional money.
And additional money. It is a time and money both are spending unwastefully.
Exactly.
Here it is a plus point. But only point is that if you are considering the experience, what is the documentation is required to prove that experience?
They from the employer, whether it is a previous employer, current employer, they have to attest.
Okay.
And they will have a cross check. They are having a secretariat, they will cross check. From Norway, they will send a mail or they will call in case of any suspicion on their document, they are cross verifying.
Yes, it's also from the previous employer and the current employer, yes, but that's not partial as Ole was mentioning. We also need impartial documentation. So that will be, if you are doing inspections, you need the customer of you to stamp and to say that you have been doing inspections, or other clients of you which do not know you. So you cannot just ask your employer to stamp and say, yes, you have been doing inspection, because that's not impartial. So you need somebody else to verify that you have been doing your inspections, and so we can control that. So then we control that, and if you take an exam and you can document this, you will have level 3 after the exam. But if you cannot document this, you will have level 1 or level 2 according to your documentation.
Because
was that the answer for your question?
Yes, absolutely correct.
Any organization,
so it is not the certification of the employer. It is that the party whom you have inspected, that certification is also important.
Yes. And no company will give you blindly for any employer as he is working like a fraudulent certification or something.
Nobody can.
Because their reputation also involved.
Yes,
they are giving in black and white. So they are keeping their record, the company record. In case of any future, if anybody is claiming, my dear, this is your company. You only given a warranty as this person has got experience.
Correct.
Very true.
Yeah. I'm glad to know that Frozio is being recognized by major companies. If in a case where the end client only sticks on to NACE or SSPC, and we are in a position to say that, okay, we have Frozio certified guys. Have you ever faced that kind of a situation where some comfort letter or some convincing has to be done by you to the client so that they recognizes you? Because that can't be done by the us alone. There has to be some support from your side. What is your opinion on that?
But just to, before you these things, I can just give you one information. As of now, NACE and SSPC is no more in existence.
Yes.
It is now amalgamated.
Yeah.
So it is a big confusion, who is correct, who is not correct. It is not in streamline. So it is now AMPP. So whether it is SSPC or whether NACE, who is predominating there, it's absolutely a hodgepodge. And hence it is very difficult. As far as Frozio is concerned, it is clear cut. So as far as the party is concerned, they cannot write NACE because it does not exist. Or cannot write SSPC also, it does not exist. Because when it is amalgamated, they find it difficult how to promote, whom to promote, what to promote. AMPP, the name is AMPP.
No, I agree. Might be that will come into the place when if someone is going to do the course and he has the option, now Frozio is existent and both of them have combined. Assume that I already have a person who is certified by SSPC or NACE. And if the client says that we need either SSPC or NACE or any one among that. And assume that they have all the controls in Spain or some European country where the Indian guys are unable to take a call on that. Have you ever faced such kind of a situation?
Yes, we have had that many times, and especially in Europe. If you have American contracts in Europe, they want NACE, right? And then in Europe say, but I have 5 Frozio inspectors. We can use them, and then we usually help them and we write letters and then help the customer convince them that yes, Frozio is equivalent.
They are supporting.
Which both NACE and Frozio agree on.
In fact, last month, Mr. Ole wrote a letter to Saudi Aramco.
In the Gulf, this is more prevalent.
Yeah, in Saudi Aramco, already NACE and SSPC name. When he wrote a letter, they said, yes, your Frozio certification is equally approved.
Okay.
And very soon they are going to update in SAEP 316. That is what they are going.
I can also inform that the top management in NACE or AMPP and Frozio do agree that it's similar. So we do agree about that.
Correct. And one more question. When it comes from the employer's point of view, the convenience what we had in NACE, when a newcomer is there and is performing to the expectation, we give the training program and we first give him the training for level 1. And if they are going to pass that and they are going to work with us for some more time, it's an agreement between the employer and the employee. He stays with us for some time, then we promote him we sponsor for the level 2 in that case. Whereas in case of Frozio, you just pay the maximum slab and he is going to get based on his experience. You have any idea of, considering this perspective, you have any idea of different price slabs for the training? Can you get my point?
No, I'm not.
The convenience with respect to the other training is you have level 1, level 2, level 3, different price structures for each certification. From an employer's perspective, you can choose to decide which certification the employee needs. He might be a fresher, you cannot sponsor for a level 3 for him, you'll just get it and attrition will happen. Whereas when it comes to Frozio, can you throw some light on that?
We have a fixed price from Frozio for certification, but the training is decided by the training body. So it's really up to the training body. If they really, if they can get 20 participants, they could probably have a bit lower price.
Okay.
But I think in general, I think the prices of SSPC Frozio.
Normally I will tell you, in Europe, if a student want to study in Europe, it would be around 6,000, 5,000 euros. But in India, when we started from 2,800, 3,000, 3,400. Still I'm getting a warning letter because other training buddies, they are telling why you are spoiling Frozio name. When all over the world, when they are giving the same price, for example, 6 lakhs in Europe, Indian rupees, but we are charging only 50%. Still we are, so for them as a certifying body, they don't have any control on price. We are getting not them, they cannot say. Even other training body from other location, they called me personally, Venkat, when I'm giving like this price, why you are giving 50% reduction? I said, we have to encourage our Indian student. That is the reason our motto. But when you say from Europe, no, they cannot able to understand whatever we are telling. They have a set of standards.
I agree.
Yeah, and that's a very good illustration of the difference between us as a certifying body and they as a training body.
Yes.
We don't have anything to do with the pricing of the training whatsoever.
If you want to promote, if you want to have any training in your industries, anywhere, we are ready to support you. Training part, we will give you whatever.
Okay.
Like only thing is if you have more count, we can give any discount.
Okay.
There is no issue at all.
Agreed.
But I think in general, I think the prices between the different certification programs is more or less similar.
So that is the reason like we are getting students from all international location. Because our price is 50% lesser. Now I am getting a warning letter through him. They are writing a letter, but they are not telling me directly because they are certifying, but So we have a grip.
Venkat is selling a Porsche at the price of a VW.
See, Venkat is selling a Porsche at the price of BMW. The same comment I am getting. But we have to develop our Indian students. That is my motto, our company motto. But they are giving, I don't know what to. Anyway, we will discuss. Anyway, we will discuss. Yes.
My question, what about the renewal of after 5 years or 3 years? What is the process?
No exam. Every 5 years it will be renewed with the 160 euro. That means 15,000 rupees for renewal. Whereas other certification providers, we have to spend around 1 lakh. With the Frozio, every 5 years. And one more big advantage with the Frozio, if a person is having only level 1, initially no experience, within 2 years, he can upgrade to level 2. After 3 years, he can upgrade level 3, no exam.
Only certification?
Only certification, provided he has to pay the minimal fee, that 160 euro.
Thank you.
Suppose if a person got already level 3, every 5 years he has to pay that fees, that's all.
But also important to note that when you are doing the renewal, after 5 years, if you are level 3, you have to do the same documentation with the impartial documentation, employer, exactly the same as the new certification. So it still has to be...
The documentation, you are not only like only 5 years, whenever you are going for a renewal, up to 5 years what we have done, where we are up to, that documentation we have to provide in order to get renewal.
And if you are level 3 and maybe you're going into sales or you're doing something completely different, then you will be downgraded to level 2 because then you cannot show you have 2 years relevant experience.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very good example of that is I have had the level 3 for many, many years. I've been working since 85 with this, and I got my Frozio in 1994. When I was to renew it the last time, I was downgraded myself to level 2 because I've been in management position and not doing inspections. So I'm a good example of how this works. I'm no longer level 3, and that's the way it should be.
Okay, I will reiterate, even after 5 years, I don't know how you got a certificate. First of all, Frozio, they won't issue a certificate for any roadsiders, only coating professional. Every 5 years also you have to show suppose if you cannot able to show this experience, your grade will be depromoted. So if you want to maintain your status, you have to be in that same field, not in IT, not in welding manager, welding engineer. You should work as a coating inspector or coating field, coating professional. That is the only, because they are following the ISO requirement.
He has given a fantastic example.
Yeah, even a chairman, he has been depromoted from level 3 to level 2 for certain period.
Because the inspection activity was not there.
Yes.
He has gone to the managerial
Exactly.
level.
Very good.
But we also have other challenges for some of the inspectors because a lot of them, they don't renew their certificate within 5 years. And they wait 7 years. And I'm going to start doing inspections. I need to renew my certificate. And we tell them, sorry, if you want to renew, you have to do the examination over and pass.
Yes.
So it's very strict. Even one day after 5 years, they actually have to do. And every month, people, please, I give you double price. I say, no, good. You have to do the exam. So that is challenge for some. And after 5, 6, 7 years, you have forgot a lot because what Venkat and the training body, it's a lot of information in these 14 days.
Yeah.
So, and I think also one of the questions earlier was that, yes, you don't need any prerequisites, but it is for sure very helpful. But what also a lot of the training bodies are doing is before the course start, they are sending the material so that people can study themselves and prepare themselves for the course before they start.
Exactly.
And so they know what they're getting into. And we have had people that start the course, think it's easy, and after one day they say, oh, I'm going home, I don't want to do it. That has actually happened.
How frequently does Frozio serve reminders to the inspectors that they are nearing the deadline of 5 years they have to renew?
It is up to the inspectors, and we have had, they are supposed to get the email. And the last, not the last year, but before that, it was not always. And one of the problems was that a lot of people, they maybe changed their email address, and of course they will not get it. But today, we have upgraded this, we have our own portal, our own system for certificates. And today, if the email is correct, you will get the email 6 months before expiration. Please renew 3 months before expiration, and the day it expires, your certificate has expired.
Ending today.
Please renew. And then
3 emails, 6 months before, 3 months before, the date of last expired.
And then you get a 6 month grace period you can renew.
Once if it is expired, he has to again appear for the exam. That's all.
So grace period is also there, na? 6 months. Yes.
Yeah, 6 months before.
No, so, yeah, but you can renew 6 months after, within 6 months after expiration.
Okay, now we are given a grace period. When it has started?
Even if it has expired, but if it's more than 1 day after 6 months, you have to do the exam. So you have a 6 month grace period.
6 months.
Okay, we'll talk. Yeah. There was an issue with the Jyotan Mumbai. It was expired only 3 months, but your office said, no, you have to again go for exam. He came for that exam. Old system. No problem. Maybe you have updated. Thank you very much. Any questions? Moses, please.
Yeah. So we are from HP Valves and Fittings India Private Limited. In our factory, we are manufacturing products for instrumentation field for all sectors, petrochemical, oil and gas, everywhere. Day in, day out, we come across so many such corrosions and all types of materials we are dealing, all forms of material. So we also seek for some solutions to overcome such corrosions, and even some solutions towards some surface cleanliness, surface preparation, and after paint coating, how to manage, because sudden change in shapes, sizes, it's very difficult for us. So in such scenarios, we also seek help from some experts like Hts Coatings, and we will be able to overcome that. But when I came to the Frozio, this seminar and class training through HTS, I am able to recall all those things, whatever I experienced. And the solution was already taken care of in the class training class. So now I am able to take away the solutions through the training itself. It's an eye-opener.
You mean to say like he got a very good knowledge from Frozio. For the past, he is also our student. Tomorrow he is going to write exam. He said like from his company, they are facing everyday corrosion coating problem. But within 10 days, he got to know more knowledge from our Frozio classes.
We are actually struggling with such issues in our factory. Generally, any manufacturing industries, these are all the, what we can say, some hurdles day in, day out in the routine manufacturing process. It's difficult to meet the customer expectations. So we will be breaking our head. What to do, how to do, who will support us. So this training, it was a tremendous one.
Yeah,
it's a sequential manner. It explained, the explanations were very nice and self-explanatory. I don't think 1 or 2 times if you read this modules, whatever they have taken, it will be self-answerable. So we could take away all those things, and we can, I hope I will definitely implement in our factory. And I am especially thanking
Very nice.
2 years back I met him, and slowly we are getting into the...
So all credit goes to Venkat.
Thank you.
Yes, that's
That is why many like international students, they are coming to our office for the past 4 years.
So that means this content in that training content is fabulous.
Yeah, yeah.
But we also have examples of people who have done the course, but they are never going to do inspections, but they want to know everything about surface treatment. So they do the course, and then when it comes to exam, nah, I'm never going to do it, but they have learned so much information, what they need to know in 14, but they don't need a certificate because they're not inspectors, but they need to have the knowledge. That happens also, yeah.
So that's all?
Okay, fantastic.
All happy? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, tell me. Phone, mic. Yeah, you want to ask something. Yes.
Finally, I had to say only one thing. If you do this Frozio program, even spending 3,000 euro or 3,400, within a month you can make the money. That is there. That is the advantage. Any country you go, even I saw Delegate was doing lot of people in Malaysia, got SSPC. So they spend only 10,000 Malaysian ringgit and they are getting 15,000 salary. So that is the requirement, and this is what Delegate is giving gift for our Indians. Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you.
Thank you, great.
Thank you. Okay, எங்க போயிட்டாங்களா அவங்களா? எங்க அவங்க? ஓகே. கூப்பிடு. என்ன? சரி அந்த லேடி வர சொல்லு. அதுதான் சொல்லியாச்சு. Yeah, please. Thank you. I would like to thank everyone. So I think this is the right time to start our lunch session. Whichever. One second. Sorry. Before that, we are going to give a memento for our chief guest. Please. Now. Check. Sorry. Only 2 minutes.
Yes, we would like to present a token of appreciation to our delegates. So I would invite one by one onto the stage. The first, I would like to invite Mr. Teron Solvent, Chairman of the Board of Frozio. And next, we would like to present our award. Frozio. Let us give it up for our Frozio team. Mr. Teron Solvent. I take an immense pleasure to invite Mr. Ule Streike, our General Manager of Frozio. Let's all give it up for Frozio team. I invite Dr. T.M. Sridhar, Assistant Professor and Head of University of Madras. Sir, I would like to be on the stage because we are going to have a group photo.
Sorry, please.
Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary, next. Coming up next, I invite Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary, Business Head of Burger Paints India Limited. So can we give it up for Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary? Up next, I invite Mr. Karthikeyan Manoharan, Director of Dale Durgan Heavy Engineering. Mr. Hari. Next, I welcome Dr. Sir, please stay on the stage. Up next, I invite Dr. John Paul, a corrosion specialist and technologist. I welcome Mr. G. Swaminathan, General Manager of HP Valves and Fittings India. Please join us in welcoming Mr. G. Swaminathan. By a roaring round of applause, I invite Mr. K.G. Yuvraj, QA of Potash Shell GTL Limited.
Okay.
I invite Mr. Swaminathan from Dynamic Tech. Please join us in welcoming Mr. Anis from Iris Academy. I invite Mr. Narasimha Rao from Perfect Coatings. I would like to invite Mr. Narasimha Rao from Perfect Coatings. Please give it up for Mr. Narasimha Rao. Next, I invite Mr. Jayaraman from JC Walls. Next, I invite Mr. Yuvraj, a manager of L&T Hydrocarbon. Come on, guys, give it up for Mr. Yuvraj. Last but not the least, I invite Mr. Vasant Kota, Manager QA QC of L&T Hydrocarbon. I invite Mr. Harvish Kant, Training Coordinator. Is he here?
Let's see. No problem.
Up next, I invite Mr. Himesh Kumar. Come on, give it up for Mr. Himesh Kumar. come on to the center for photo session. So let us all come little bit closer for group photo.
Vikas. Come. Yes.
Let's say 3 cheers for Frozio and HTS team. Yes? Are you ready? Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you so much, everyone. And we humbly thank each one of you for participating in this conference and making this a very successful event. Thank you. And you can contact us for any future training and certification regarding Frozio. And also a delicious dinner is ready for all our delegates and guests, so you all can enjoy the dinner. And before that, I request our dignitaries, our industrialists, our academics to come for a video bites and to let us know what is your takeaway from this conference. And yes, so you all can enjoy the dinner. Thank you so much. I hope you all had a informative and educative session. Thank you so much. This is MC Ritu signing off this event. Thank you.
I'm actually